Alright, Flash. My question to you is why do you do what you do as an artist?
It's Flash to God. No, I'm playing. I'm not really rude. I'm not really a rude person. I have a really good sense of humor. That's the first thing I was probably gonna put out on the video, but no. I do what I do because, I mean, that depends on what aspect of the question you mean. As far as my entertainment goes, I do what I do because it's entertaining to me, and I have ADHD really bad. My mind races a lot, so when I get involved in my music and I sit down and I create something out of nothing, it not only helps me kind of like slow down and gain my focus, but it also makes me feel like when you're able to listen to the finished product, you feel like you accomplished something. I don't know, it's probably the same feeling like somebody gets if they like a carpenter gets if they build something and they're like they start with a pile of wood and then they have a house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like when I start with a computer and then end up with a multi-platinum album.
What's the best piece of advice that you've been given?
I mean, again, if you're talking about as far as my entertainment career, my music goes, the best part of advice I've been given is don't ever stop making music, or don't ever stop creating, don't ever give up.
Okay.
Because of any artist that's ever done music, if you're serious about it, has all had that moment in time or point in time when they like wanted to stop, and they're just like, you know, like it's not really considered giving up, but you're just like, man, fuck this shit. I'm not even gonna make music no more. If you're an artist and you say you never felt like that once, but if you really love it, you know, you always find that 30 seconds worth of chill time, and then it bugs you enough that you have to go ahead and perfect your craft, and then you get it right, and it's better.
Okay. Where do you find your inspiration?
Everywhere I look, man. Everywhere I go. Mostly, I'd have to say, it in the music. Honestly, in the beats. You know, a lot of it comes straight from the beats. When I hear an instrumental, when I hear music in general, my mind instantly starts to like either come up with lyrics or like come up with like different words to it, or like I come up with melodies in my head to go along with it. That's how I've always been since I was a little kid. So I find my inspiration in everything, but mostly in my children, my kids, man. Graceland and Emery, family, my friends, life in general, liquor and weed.
What's the purpose or goal of your work?
The goal of my work? The goal of my work, first and foremost, like I told you earlier, honestly, it's kind of a selfish ass thing to say, but I really do this a lot of the time, maybe because when I'm feeling in a mood and I like need that feeling of accomplishment. So the goal of my work, first and foremost, is to keep myself on a steady level. But the end all be all goal of my work is to get, hopefully that all of the music and effort I put into this and fun I have doing this brings a lot of other people in the world enjoyment and pleasure throughout, you know, lots of years to come. That's why I do this. 'Cause like, I mean, I've always said I do music because even at the end of the day, if not even one person liked my music, I like my music enough that I dig being able to go somewhere and have a whole ass playlist of my music just to listen to my own music. And that's kind of a conceited thing to say, but to me it makes me feel good, and I like to do it. So
how did you get into making music?
Well, I don't know, I've always been like kind of music, like I said, always been musically inclined. I always liked instruments and stuff when I was a little kid, had little keyboards and stuff like that, but first time I got into making music, like actually like sitting down, recording anything, and like getting into a studio, or even thinking that was a possible thing for anybody like me in a small town like this, I I was 15 years old, and this guy, his name was Richard Gray, R.I.P. He actually came to town, and my cousin Derek knew the guy. He started dating one of my other cousins, Derek's sister, and he had a basement set up almost kind of like this, and that's where he started recording. I mean, he had a little bit of difference, he had a vocal booth built and stuff. It was basically a pretty elementary setup, but when I first seen it, I was 15 years old, and I'm like, holy shit, bro. And he was the first person that ever showed me how to make beats and tap out beats. And this dude could sing. Like, when I tell you this guy had a voice, I'll show you some of his music later, but this guy had an amazing voice. And so, he, showed me it, and I think he kind of seen my passion for making music. And, my dad was working at the time, and me and him were kind of, going through the transition phase of me being a teenager and, trying to find something to bond on. And so we loved listening to beats, and so me and my dad made our first album together when I was 15 with Richard in the basement, Basement Productions, called Father Like Son. Our rap group used to be D Squared. That was so yeah, that was how I got into making music, man. Richard, my grandmother, since I was 7 years old, my grandma sung to me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I don't know, I've always loved it.
Well,
I was bored into it.
My next question is for you. What is a message you would give to your fans?
A message I would give to my fans, if I have any. Hi, guys. I didn't know about you. No, I'm playing. The message I would give to my fans is, I appreciate that fact that, you guys have seen this whole operation, or not even operation, this whole transition, this whole journey that not only me, myself, but all of the artists that I've done work with throughout the years, John Keenan, Mark Keenan, 3D, Peasy, just numerous various artists. There's probably damn near close to at least 100 different types of artists I've worked with over the years of doing this music since I was 15 years old. That's literally 17 years ago, so if you guys can do the math, there's a little fucking Easter egg for you.
Well, my last question for you is, what's next?
Another beer?
Good answer.
Probably tomorrow, man. I don't know. I like to say that I don't really make plans, but anybody that is going anywhere in life knows, first and foremost, you gotta set goals. So, my goal, honestly, what's next is I'm definitely working hard. As far as the music goes, I want to get this mixtape that I'm working on with this next artist you guys are getting ready to speak with. I want to get it dropped and ready to go, and and get this out and start circulating. But what's really next is getting to a bigger, more populated area, closer to my other daughter, and I want to see ATF Records thrive and come from Great Bend, Kansas to something in Kansas City or Junction City or Topeka or maybe even in all three. You know what I'm saying? Something that when we look back at these videos we're seeing right now, to the progression of what we're possible and what we're capable of with this little bit of music that, I really like, and I hope everybody else does too. So that's what's next for me, man. Always just being a dad and trying to be the best man I am. I know most people probably don't think I'm very humble with a name like 3xFlashDaGod, but yeah, it has a whole different meaning, but that'll be another different video. So thanks, guys. It's good being you, and ATF Records for life. I'm not gonna get that shit tatted on my neck, nigga.